We've got Brody. Hey, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Front End Horse Live. We are here live with Brody. Brody, how's it going? Oh my gosh, best dog. Mike gifting 5 subs. Ben gifting subs. Travis, thank you so much. My gosh, we
For
are
every
going wild.
sub, we give Brody a sausage.
We are gonna. You just made me rich, honestly. Travis, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, everybody! I am so excited. Technotone, welcome.
He just choked on a sausage.
I hate when that happens.
No singing today. Okay, little singing.
Discord cuts it at a certain.
Very good. It was very soulful. If Discord didn't cut it, then you would have heard it was very soulful.
We got a solid half of it. It's
Okay,
so
that's
good. Nino Pepper, watch it. Chat's getting feisty. Oh my gosh, Ben with another. We got to give Brody another sausage. So today we are here to talk about dog singing. Why do you need it? When do you need it? When don't you need it? And how to get it. These are like the main things we're going to be hitting on today. So good. If you're not already, please follow Cassie on Twitter. Twitter, how do you spell Twitter? TWITTER.com. Cassie.
The Bad Bird website.
Yes, the worst website. But Cassie has a dog that is fantastic, and it sings, and some of her video tweets are my favorites, and I've shown them to people that don't know Cassie, but get a real kick out of, especially the opera singing one. That one is a classic. Yeah, just really good stuff. Cassie, how you doing? It's so good to have you here.
I'm doing very good. I'm very glad to be here. I've been heads down on the latest GSAP 3.10 release.
You certainly have.
So I'm quite enjoying the fact that I get to like sit down and just chat to you and hang out with Brody and give him sausages. It's pretty good.
This is really good. I also have a dog, but he does not sing. So I tried to get him to sing like Brody. It's not in him. Brody, it's so natural. Santi Cross, smooth, like it. We're doing Brody's professional singing website today. We should. Oh my gosh, we should. We should.
We really should.
Like, yeah.
Do you want a website? Yeah, he wants a website.
Oh, he does.
Okay, we'll have to do that one day. Definitely.
Maybe Life can make a 3D version of him for the site, and we can animate him in 3JS and everything. It'd be perfect. Brent, thank you for the sub. Amazing. Oh my goodness. Hi everyone. Hi. How's it going? We can't not start with Brody. Right? You gotta start with Brody, end with Brody. In the middle, there's gonna be green sock happening, but the beginning that belongs to Brody. So Cassie, you touched on 3.10, the Green Sock 3.10 release that's coming out soonish, right? Like any minute now, any day now.
Any minute now. The plan was to skid into this stream having pressed like live on everything. But we're kind of skidding into the stream and then pressing live on everything, so it's almost out.
Well, you gave me the button here to push midstream, right?
The big
yeah. So I'll be hitting the button at the end. You gave me the
with the confetti cannons.
Perfect. So do we want to get into what 3.10 entails, or what it brings? Entails. What does it entail, Cassie? Actually, I'm so sorry. Brody threw me off. We introduced Brody better than we introduced you. Cassie Evans, for anyone who doesn't know.
You can skip that bit. It's
yeah. So, how old's Brody? What kind of dog is he? Cassie, for the folks out there who don't know who you are, but obviously know Brody, introduce yourself, please.
Oh, nice. I get to introduce myself. Usually it's just me sitting here and you complimenting me and me feeling really awkward.
I'll still make it awkward, but you can go ahead first this time.
So I'm Cassie. I am a creative developer and I work for GreenSock as what do I work at GreenSock as?
button presser, official button. We're just waiting on you to come
I
into
had
that
a big
button.
fancy title and I forgot it, but basically developer relations. I make demos and I help teach people how to use the tools. So yeah, that's me.
See, we still made it awkward. See, mission accomplished.
How are you meant to introduce yourself to people without making it awkward?
Some people like practice it, and they have like the script that they give every time, and it's I just bumble through it. Sometimes I tell people that I like, my favorite food's peanut butter. It's not good. It's not good. People don't invite me back often. Anyway, yeah, Cassie, it's awesome to have you on. You've been here several times, and it's always a joy, always a lot of fun. And yeah, I think you're well known in the SVG animation green sock communities. What's up?
Doyle Rules has given me a better intro. I'm an SVG animation awesomeness person.
Yeah, I think with the music. Yeah. I think your website does a great job of summing it up. I like making fun, interactive things with code. I also talk and write about those things, and it's just a really fun site because it's all interactive and it's just a joy. But yeah, love your site. And we all got hype train emotes. Thank you so much, chat. Y'all are fantastic. Cool Twitch bots going on. Love it. So that's Cassie. And Cassie does a great job. If you haven't checked out her blog and checked out her code pen, all the stuff Cassie touches is fantastic. And you're just fun to hang out with. But today we are getting down to business because we have a couple things to talk about. And first, I think we put on the list is checking out Observer, right?
Yes.
What is
it?
So
the 3.10 release, we actually have 2 brand new plugins bundled up in the 3.10 release. So yeah, let's take a look at Observer first.
All right.
Observer, it was kind of baked into the functionality of Scroll Trigger. Like it was underneath the hood, kind of like the secret magic that was going on in the background. And we decided that it was really useful, so we would surface it for people. And then along the way, a few people said, oh, this would be really good as its own plugin. So now it's its own plugin as well. So yeah, Observer basically gives you a unified way to sense events across different browsers. And anyone that's tried to sense swiping downwards or something on a website knows that when you're looking at like touch devices and desktop devices and all of these different, it all starts to get really tangly and complicated, and you end up with just a whole page of event listeners and code trying to detect like what direction it is and all of that kind of stuff. So it's like a really helpful little little tool to kind of make things easier for you.
Awesome. So respond to scroll like user behavior, like mouse wheel spin. And I've got something in my throat. I might be like choking throughout the entire show. We'll just go ahead. It's going to be great. And that gives you directional data, velocity. This is really, really handy.
So this is a really good demo. So I think a lot of people, these kind of demos are quite popular, like full page JS does that kind of functionality, and there's often a lot of like co-drop sites and award sites that are big full page sites that feel like they're scrolling, but they're not actually scrolling. They're listening to like mouse events or touch events to try and work out when to progress through an animation. So this demo kept popping up in the GSAP forums, and everyone was trying to do it with Scroll Trigger, but it's not Scroll Trigger. It's not a scroll triggered animation.
Got it.
So yeah, with Observer, it's really, really nice and easy.
Okay, so it's like the trick here is about detecting that up or down motion across keyboard, mouse, and touch devices. Not so much the like. What would you say scroll trigger is best for, or like when might someone pick up scroll trigger?
So scroll trigger is really good for playing certain animations, or oh, you've got me going with the choking now.
Yeah, it's contagious.
So detecting where you are as you scroll down a page and kind of controlling certain animations. So scroll trigger is really performant and really good because rather than a lot of kind of scroll triggering libraries, it does all the calculations up front. So at the beginning, it works out where all of your trigger points are and where your animations are and where you want to start the animations. And then all you have to do is just scroll down the page and it goes, oh, we're at that point, and then plays your animation for you.
Oh my goodness, I did not expect that to play. Sorry. I think everyone just heard the exciting music. I apologize.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense for scroll trigger. I think it's just a matter of, separating out the use cases for each of these plugins. So that makes sense.
So
we can kind of see it here.
Scroll triggers for when you're actually scrolling. So if you look at what you're doing now, you're scrolling down a page, and then at certain points along the way, you want to pin an element, or you want to play an animation, or you want to scrub through an animation, or you want to trigger a callback, all of that kind of thing. So yeah, that's scroll trigger. Whereas if you think about that demo in the observer docs, you're not actually scrolling down.
Right. Hands off.
Just if you hold your mouse up, it's probably just like doing that kind of thing, like
a little bit of that for the behind the scenes. People love this stuff when I show them what I'm doing with my mouse. They go really crazy for that. So, Brunch Runner asks, does fading in affect SEO since it would be hidden for bots?
I'm not an SEO expert, so I wouldn't know.
I'll defer to chat if there are any either spider robots in chat who crawl pages or just SEO experts. I don't know. Good question, Brunch Runner. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
So
I wonder whether bots troll after the JavaScript's loaded, or whether they just look at the dumb.
Yeah. There's a lot of that, like with client side apps and things like that. Like if you just do like a create React app, a lot of that data gets built on the client. So there's a lot of debate around whether or not that's good for SEO. So I guess it's a big depends. I don't know. They do both. Maybe maybe a robot, but not a spider. But yeah, good question.
It's probably worth mentioning as well that like Observer doesn't do that demo. That demo is using Observer. So Observer just listens to events. So it'll listen to when someone like mouses up or swipes up or hovers over something or presses something. It's just a way of detecting events. So this is just a demo that's using Observer to detect events.
That makes sense. So the only bit of Observer here in this whole demo is when you're either wheel mousing, right?
Mouse
or touching.
Wheel. Yeah. Or touch device.
Yeah, because like my arrow keys aren't moving right now, and that makes sense because it's not on the list, right? Arrow keys, and I can hold my keyboard up if chat really needs it, but I'll just take my word for it. I'm hitting the up and down. And so we check if not already animating, because we don't want it to skip a whole bunch of these things. We just then trigger the animation. And so that's what's kicking off those animations. That makes sense. This is really handy.
If you wanted to handle keyboard events right now, that would be a separate thing. But we handle mouse wheel, touch events, pointer events, and scroll events.
Cool. Awesome. Very nice.
So yeah, rather than writing like tons and tons and tons of event listeners, you've kind of got this easy thing that you can tap into.
That makes a lot of sense. That's super handy.
Yeah. Super handy. And so this is using Observer, which is its own plugin. But as I said, like it's underneath the scenes in Scroll Trigger. Like it's part of Scroll Trigger's functionality, but it wasn't surfaced up until this point. So we've actually got a Scroll Trigger.observe method, which is basically the same thing. It's a little bit smaller, and it's baked into Scroll Trigger. So if you're using Scroll Trigger already, you don't have to use Observer, so you don't have to load both of the plugins.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, cool. Did it get any like extra features from when it was baked into Scroll Trigger, or it's just kind of like picked up and put over on on its own as well. Like
I think that it's got a few extra things. I'm not sure exactly what extra things it's got on top of Scroll Trigger Observe.
Cool.
But yeah.
Awesome. And then do we want to dig into this one anymore right now, or do we want to check out
We can take a look at some of the demos that people have made. That's the exciting bit, really.
Yes. Let me pull those up. I agree that is always the fun part. So Observer Showcase. Should I share this with chat? Is that all right? Or is this
Yeah, go on, share it with your chat.
All right.
It's still technically private, but you guys can have a sneak peek.
As long as chat doesn't share it with anyone. Hey, chat, between you and me, okay? This is between us.
Between us.
Yes, no one else, all right? Promise. Thank you. And Acudio, Alistair, thank you so much for the 9 months, my friend. You are fantastic. Pulling up the bird site now. No, Ben, no. All right. Tom, a.k.a. Creative Ocean, who I think we're going to see in a couple of these, Pinky swore. So that's good enough for me.
Awesome.
That is bomb.
I think I saw Oliver Turner saying that SEO is impacted by DOM structure as well, which is what I would think.
Got it. Okay. And Oliver Turner, good to see you. So glad you're here.
Also, hello.
Already tweeted. Yeah. Hi to everyone. There's so many folks here. Love the outpouring of support. So which one do we want to check out first?
Let's take a look at some of the different ways that we can use this.
All right.
So, a really good one. Well, it's not. It's probably the most boring of them, but it's the most descriptive of them. So go left.
You know how to sell it. All right. So
yeah, the Observe demo. Observe.
Right here.
Yeah, with the little.
All right. Everyone should be excited right now because this is the most boring one. All right. Observer is a really handy way to detect a user's intended scroll direction. Scroll or swipe into different directions to spin the compass. Well, that's nice.
So you have to hold your mouse up.
Yeah. So here we go. I'm going left to right because my mouse has that. It's not as good as like an Apple mouse, but that's really handy. And if I was on like a device or a trackpad, I could go diagonally too.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the little bars in the background are moving with velocity as well, so it's put into the velocity value.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Right. That's a nice handy little demo. Like I get what you mean. It's not the most like incredible or like practical to like I want that on my website. But in terms of just a utility code pen to be like, how does this work? Okay, got it. You can see these are some callbacks that I can pass functions to, right?
Yeah.
On Observer. Got it.
Yeah, so there's tons of them. Like we could sit and go through the whole list, but that would be like the whole stream. And again,
we had other stuff planned, but no. Let's read through these. Now, what's ID?
So yeah, there's a lot. And Jack will hate me for saying this, but like if there's something that's not there that you're like, oh, this would be really handy, then just let us know and we'll add it.
Yeah, we'll drop Jack's personal email in the chat. Don't worry about it. Just shoot him an email. He responds within the hour, no matter when you email him. It's fine. Nah, I don't think you could do anything to make anyone hate you.
Observer isn't to replace Scroll Trigger at all. So Scroll Trigger and Observer are completely different things. So Scroll Trigger is what you should reach for if you want animations to be triggered on scroll. So at different points down the page as you scroll down. Observer is a way to not have to write loads and loads of event listeners.
And honestly, it seems like Observer could kick off anything, not just animations, right? Like you could have like here we're console logging. If any of these things change, you can kick off Google Analytics. I don't know, right? Like it doesn't have to be a green.
Yeah, it's incredibly handy because I think animation and interactivity are so tied together on the web, and you often just need to know like, is the person's cursor over like this point? Like, what's the delta value at the moment? Like, what's the velocity? Like, how far down a page are we? Like all of these different things. And if you use Scroll Trigger and Observer together, you can pretty much get any information you want. Because Scroll Trigger also has its own like callbacks and information as well.
Cool. And this one has a nice little click. So on click, it does something different. on press. And
Yeah.
then okay, so on press covers clicks and a device touch.
If you define that in the types. So you've got the list of the types. These are all of the types.
Cool.
So pointer and scroll and touch and wheel. But if you only define like touch, it'll only register on touch.
Cool.
So really nice and intuitive to use.
Nice. This was one that you did
yeah, let's give that a go.
Jason, right? If folks didn't see this is a fun little scroll
So if you
demo.
scroll, you got to get the lollipops.
Sorry, I'm pasting links, but I know chat's not going to share them. Okay, here we go. All right, so if I get a lollipop, you
get a lollipop, then the rainbow lights up.
The rainbow comes back. Nice. I love it. So for chat, I'm scrolling up and down, right? Like I think we can get it by now. Does this one also work with touch?
Sure. I reckon so.
But with one thing. Observer. Create wheel, touch, scroll, pointer. Cool. Nice. Oh, and I can drag him up and down. Oh, wait. Oh no. That's funny. So he resets after a bit, and I just happen to drag him up to that spot on. Oh wait. Oh.
You should be able to drag, but the velocity will be a little bit less on the
got it. Okay.
Because you can only drag the height of the screen, whereas with your mouse wheel, you're probably like you're going down like multiple heights of the screen.
We can do this. This is easy. This is fine.
There's actually a wheel speed property as well. So if there's like too big a difference between your dragging and your wheel speed, you can kind of align that a little bit more by changing what the wheel speed multiplier is. Okay. So that was a good segue into that.
Thank
you, Alex. Just wheel speed.
Oh, yeah, that's.
I was like, we have a fix for that.
I was trying to set you up for that, so I'm glad you noticed and took advantage. The rainbow is killing me. The fact that it doesn't stay is that what you mean, Travis? Either way, cool. What else do we have? Oh, Ryan Mulligan.
Oh yeah, let's have a look at that one.
Oh. No.
We're looking at pre-release stuff. So Miravel is asking, has Observer been released yet? We're almost releasing.
Yes.
Alex has got the big button, and he's going to press it at some point.
Yeah, Jack gives me that kind of power because he trusts me and he recognizes that I'm a professional and I wouldn't push it just for no reason. Andre, thank you so much for that sub. 2 months, really, really appreciate it. This one is so fun. I agree with Rachel. This is really, really fun. I mean, first off, Ryan just makes great things in general. Oh, I love that.
Very good.
So this is letting me knock things around because on the letter, like each letter has an observer and it like takes the velocity of pointer. Is that like what's happening here?
I think there's probably an observer on the bowl. Oh. Yeah, an observer on the bowl. And then Ryan's probably doing something clever.
Move chars, and then so if we go there, it takes in that object, and that object is okay.
So this is a really good example actually of like the fact that observer doesn't do anything apart from listen to events. So it just observes events and gives you back some data, and then it's up to you what you want to do with that data. So if you want to create full page scrolling swipey galleries, you can do that. If you want to create a bowl of noodles, you can do that. If you want to make a corgi with a rainbow butt, you can do that. It's up to you.
Wait, the rainbow is his butt? I thought, okay, no, we'll get into the anatomy of this corgi. I think
I'm confused. The function is technically called rainbow butt explosion.
It's canon now, chat. That corgi's butt is a rainbow. So it's canon. It's been spoken into the lore of this show. And I've learned with Jason, I think we're in the same universe. I'm not sure. We've had a few crossover characters, so I think so. But this is really, really fun, and I love, like, okay, so if I tap it just a little bit, it doesn't really move much, but if I like give it a smack, it's the velocity really sends them. That's such a fun one. Ryan, he's he's just fantastic. And he's at Netlify now, working on fantastic Netlify stuff. So we're really happy for him. Coolbach is here. Nice. The best marketing observer doesn't do anything.
Well, yeah, I'm very good at marketing. It's part of my job. Yeah. I'm super good at it.
Thomas, it is me being told to watch it. Just make sure I'm caught up on chat. And here we are talking about rainbow butts, right? It's full of the most ambitious crossovers for sure. Get a little bit echo. That's annoying that it comes in. Okay, it's gone now. We're
you
good.
Or me?
It was me echoing back through you. Yeah, but yeah, Carl's here. Snorkel TV. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Carl
makes fantastic green sock courses and resources. His videos are all over the actual green sock site. So yeah, Carl, great to have you here. So any other ones that we want to check out in here?
Tom Miller's one, the four times drawing one. Okay. To your right.
So say we have to check out one of Tom's. Another
just because he's not on the social medias.
Oh wait, I saw this one. I didn't know.
It's like a little kaleidoscope
what it
thing.
Was. Yeah. Oh, I'm doing good at this. I'm not usually good at these.
Really good.
Like drawing symmetrical kinds of things. Sort of.
This is where you accidentally draw something rude, isn't it?
That's I as soon as I was doing that last one, I'm like, oh no, oh no, this is not. Yeah, I'm just gonna swirl it so that Tom's gonna get me canceled. No, this is really fun. So the observer here is just tracking the position and the fact that I clicked. Oh, that's cool. So does it fade after a bit? Yeah, that's really fun. I'll drop this one in chat.
So, yeah, I think like it's just really you can see.
Life sweats in German. Sorry. He is German. Well, I mean, the name Life might give it away, but yeah. Yeah, super fun. Sorry, you were talking. I just lost it. I was giggling.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the collection of demos in the Observer collection, they go really well to like show that there's just so much stuff that you can do with it. And it's just kind of like a lot of GreenSock tools, really. Like we try to do the hard work, like the not so fun stuff for you, so that you can just focus on the fun stuff.
No, I appreciate that. Follow-up question to this. How the heck is this only 23 lines of JavaScript, 22 lines of CSS, and 11 lines of HTML? Is there something I'm missing? Is this so? I think
Tom's just a wizard.
Am I drawing an SVG path, and that's what's happening?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. D document query selector line. Tom, you are incredible. This is.
Wow,
genius.
It totally is. I assumed it was Canvas. That's so cool.
I did too. Yeah, Tom, this is genius.
That is very cool. Oh, saying GSAP does the heavy lifting.
No, sir.
You do all the cool stuff, though.
Yeah. Okay, I'm getting that echo again. Shoot. I'll talk a little bit back. Always.
What if I move my mic over here?
We'll find out. I don't
know. Okay.
just don't let the microphone hear me. Yeah, that might come back. Do you have headphones nearby? Or like
me?
Earbuds? Yeah. Or chat. You or chat. Either way. All right, let's take a look up there. Is that going to work? That might be better. Can you hear me?
Is that better?
Yes. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, nice. Are there any other Observe demos we want to check out, or do we want to hop over to ScrollSmoother?
We should hop over to ScrollSmoother.
All right, let's
do it.
I'm excited for both.
Go to greensock.com/ScrollSmoother.
How many E's in green? ScrollSmoother?
ScrollSmoother, yeah.
All right. I think I got it. I did. I nailed it.
Yes.
Ooh, that was nice.
Ooh.
Let's watch that back. Ooh, Y'all are good at animation over there. Has anyone ever told you that? Oh, pretty good at this.
Yeah, this will give you a good idea. You're the first one that's not at GreenSock to look at this page, so
wow, chat. I hope no one in chat opened the link before I did, because I'll be real bummed if I'm second. This is super cool. All right, so I've got a lot of questions about this. Observer, I get it up front, and it seems really useful, and I see all kinds of use cases for it. I see a lot of use cases for ScrollSmoother, but my big question is, what is the difference between ScrollSmoother and the numerous smooth scroll? It's tough to flip it back to say the opposite. The other libraries and approaches that people have taken to this kind of solution, or I guess to the problem of I want the scroll to be a little bit different, to maybe lag a little bit, as you put it here. What's better here?
So smooth scrolling obviously isn't something that's needed on all websites. It can be like a little bit contentious, but it's used on a lot of very art directed, very creative, very animation heavy sites.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons for that is because scrolling and animations are done on different threads. And if you're using a lot of animations, you can end up with kind of judders in the scroll and like points where your animation and your scroll doesn't quite match up. So there's a lot of people that are using smooth scrolling to kind of give their sites like a little bit more polish. One of the downsides of smooth scrolling is a lot of libraries out there are quite bad for accessibility. So they don't leverage native scroll. And you'll find that you can scroll down them maybe if you're using a touch device, but maybe like a mouse wheel doesn't work. Or you might try and tab through the site and you can't tab through the site. Or you might try and use your spacebar to navigate and you can't navigate with the spacebar. So we were seeing a lot of people pairing up GSAP and Scroll Trigger with other smooth scrolling libraries. And we were a bit concerned about the performance and the accessibility implications of that. So we've provided our own smooth scrolling library that is better for accessibility. You can scroll down, you can tab down, you can like go down with the space bar.
Yeah. Okay. I see when you told me that you were hey, smooth scrolling, I'm like, oh, I have such mixed feelings about it, right? Because a lot of
people do.
It is contentious. I had bosses and clients who absolutely insisted on it. Designers love it because it has that more polished feel. I totally agree. But for all the reasons you just listed of accessibility, motion sickness, you name it, it can cause some problems. So I was really hoping, and not even hoping, I knew you all would come at it from an accessibility angle. And I think it's great because whether or not GreenSock puts this into the platform, people are still going to do it, right? So if they're going to do it, let's give them the tools and the best practices to do it in a good way for end users. That for me is an absolute big win. And you don't have to pull in. Yeah.
If you go to the GreenSock showcase, like it would be really good to show an example of.
I'd rather just scroll up and down this page a lot more. This is super fun. The black dot is so fun. That one's, sorry if anyone's getting motion sick out there. This is too fun. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, I apologize. Which one should we look at?
So I can send you a link on Discord actually.
That works.
Where are you? There you are. So this site is a really good example of when smooth scrolling is kind of a good option.
I love this site.
So
yes.
This site, it's a portfolio website for a composer, and he had the site art directed to feel like his music. So it was really important to him that certain parts flowed through at certain speeds, because he wanted to like the site to give off this overall feeling of his music. So I think there's a lot of times when people have had conversations with me about, oh, but I hate smooth scrolling. I'm like, yeah, well, if it's used in the wrong place, I agree wholeheartedly. But if you're a composer and you want your website to feel like the music that you're composing, it's like the perfect animation tool.
Completely agree. I think for a lot of this, like, people hate it. And I think, this isn't just smooth scrolling, but other things too. People hate it when it's used poorly. Like, I think it's kind of like almost like an Instagram filter, right? Like, you're like, oh, I hate filters on photos. Like, you hate it when you can like notice it, but most photos out there have some kind of color grading or something to it, right? But overuse, poor use has kind of made it so it's just like, hate that entirely. But yeah, as you said, this is a really, really great site. And I think there's like, I think there's a separation between experience websites and like websites for the rest of everything else.
Functional websites.
Right. But I would love for them
also,
to come more
they need
together.
to be closer together. And I think that's what I'm so excited about with ScrollSmoother, is the fact that I've seen so many beautiful experience websites that I navigate by pressing my spacebar. That's like my main way that I navigate websites. And I'm constantly hitting these sites and trying to navigate the way that I'm used to and not being able to. So the fact that we've got this tool now that will bring those two worlds a little bit closer together.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm very happy about it.
Completely agree. So yeah, I don't like that dichotomy of like, you can either have an accessible website that screen readers and people with keyboard navigation can use, or you can have an experience website that your designers and that will be fun and animated or whatever. You got to choose one. You can't have both. Like that's a terrible dichotomy. And I do have an opinion, and then we can move on. Awards and the other, like those sites like awards.com needs to add an accessibility score, because as soon as they add that, bad sites will plummet and they will then say, okay, we've got to work on this. Right now, there's no incentive, right? They just want to get that award. They want to get that high score. So they don't bother with accessibility because it's not checked. It's all about the look. It's all about the feel, but not that. As soon as they add that, the game changes, baby. It's a whole new ball game. So I don't know. Awards, hire me, or don't. Just take the idea, please. Yeah.
There's a bunch of developers doing like really good jobs at kind of hitting a sensible middle ground with that. It's like the shout out to the OK Devs gang. There's a lot of very talented creative devs there that are doing really good jobs at making creative, exciting websites.
They're doing a really good job. I think they're doing an
okay job. Yeah, they're doing an okay job.
So
yeah, do you want to dig into ScrollSmoother a little bit more?
Yes. Should we check out some of these smooth demos?
Check out some demos.
This site was not built with it, right? But it's just a good site, or it's a good example for
of when scroll smoothing is a good use case. Yeah.
All right, which one?
Let's take a look at the 3D glasses one.
Ooh, okay.
Because you said you really like that black dot, right? So
yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah. So there's a few things that we've kind of baked into ScrollSmoother that aren't smooth scrolling. So the main thing is that it creates really nice smooth scrolling for your site, and you can configure that. You can say I want it to be more smooth or less smooth. By default, it doesn't do smoothing on touch devices, so like mobile devices. But if you want that for some reason, you can add that.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the cool things is smoother effects. So in the code here, you can see we've got effects set to true.
Oh.
And there are speed effects and also lag effects. And in this demo, we're having a play around with some lag on the text. So we've got some staggered lag on.
Yeah. So is this 3? Yep. So it's 3 instances. They're all stacked on top of one another. And the blue staggers last. Very cool. So let me just see if I can like wrap my head around this. So we set up a ScrollSmoother, and it's a separate plugin from ScrollTrigger.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if this is going to be available in Shockingly Green, or if it's going to be a full release, or anything? Any information there?
I'm not actually sure. I think it's a Shockingly Green. It's a Club GreenSock plugin, but I'm not quite sure what tier it is. But I think it's Shockingly Green.
Got it. And so, for chat out there, I know we're talking in like code almost, basically. And correct me if I'm wrong, Cassie. That'll mean that you can use it like unlimited on CodePen in any of those demos. It'll be available there. Yeah. If you want to use it on like commercial sites or on websites outside of that, you have to have a Club GreenSock membership, which is, especially if you're making any kind of like client websites or making any kind of career off of animation, an incredibly good deal for how much value that it provides. So yeah,
it saves you so much time, and if you're doing freelance animation work, as I was before I started at GreenSock, like you make it back in a couple of hours on freelance work. And it keeps me in a job. And
I was about to say that. I'm so glad you said
ongoing development efforts.
Yeah, and, you might not be familiar with like, paying for code kind of thing. But yeah, that's how they're able to keep coming out with great features and pay Cassie to come on. And it's what feeds Brody.
It's what feeds Brody.
Those sausages that he choked on came from our Club GreenSock memberships. Okay, so that makes us sound like attempted murderers. I'm sorry. I'm gonna wind that back. We're not trying to hurt Brody, but you get it, chat. You get it. Okay, so it's a plugin.
I think the most important thing is that browsers are constantly updating, and it helps us to be able to keep GreenSock working and bug free for you.
Honestly, I think Ben kind of just found the way that you get someone lands on greensock.com, Brody's face. Please, I'm hungry. Sales through the roof, Jack. If awards.com doesn't call me, you can call me, all right? I can talk to you about all my marketing ideas. It's gonna be a huge hit. So back to this. I'm so sorry. So
yeah, including ScrollSmoother and ScrollTrigger. Loads of dogs.
So many dogs.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, we can throw any kind of confetti. I probably chat might go wild with this now. But yeah, you can choose the confetti, and here it comes. There it is. So ScrollSmoother.create. So this is what creates a ScrollSmoother instance. We give it the wrapper, so it needs to have wrapper and content.
Yeah, okay. So I'll talk this through really quickly. So basically how scroll smoothing works is it's animating the scroll, right? So it's animating your content, the position of it. And what's happening is that we're listening to the native scroll position. So we're not kind of hijacking that or anything. We're just listening to the native scroll position and then updating where the content is depending on where the native scroll position is. So that's why it's better for accessibility, because if you're, tabbing down or scrolling down or however you're navigating, the native scroll position is going to be changing, and then that's what we're listening to. So we basically have the wrapper, which is acting like the viewport. So it's position fixed and 100% of the height and the width, and then the content is being transformed inside that.
Got it. So now that you're saying that, it makes me think, and you might not know details here because you didn't work on them or don't work for them, but other scroll smoothing or smooth scrolling solutions, do they turn scrolling off and then listen with JavaScript and then move the page down? Is that how they? Okay, interesting. So that's why
you'll notice that we don't get rid of the scroll bar either. So a lot of other smooth scrolling libraries get rid of the scroll bar, and then they have like virtual scroll bars or no scroll bars at all. I'm personally a big fan of scroll bars. They're really handy. They let you know how far you can scroll and where you are in the page. So
yeah, they kind of have a purpose, right? It's
they have a purpose.
Kind of important. Got it. So that's good to know. Like, just why this is better, because you're leaning on the actual browser. You're not recreating a ton of functionality. You're just listening to what happens there and adjusting the content in a different way than the browser would paint it normally, right?
Yeah.
So got it. Okay. Love scroll bars. Natalia's here. Good to see you.
And
Lucy's here.
Scroll bar love in the chat.
Yeah, and you can style scroll bars with CSS. Yeah. We had a fun one on front end horse. I think you have a nice one too, don't you? Do you have a? Yeah, you've got a green one. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even something simple like that. It's
just
nice. Yeah. Cool. So we need a wrapper and content. That makes sense now. Is this like how
so this
smooth?
Is taking 3 seconds to catch up to the native scroll position.
Maybe it's a rating, like a smooth rating, but no, that makes a lot more sense.
And in terms of the wrapper and the content, at the very minimum, you just need a content div. So if you leave out the wrapper and you leave out the wrapper div, then ScrollSmoother will make that for you.
If I leave this out, it'll just take the body over?
If you delete that div, and then if you delete the line in the config that says wrapper, then it will just make that for you.
Does it add a DOM to like as a parent of content?
Yeah.
Sorry. Does it add a div, not a DOM? Does it? Yeah.
Yeah. It adds a div in the DOM as a parent of content. A whole new DOM.
Got it. Okay. Oh, there you go. Smooth scroller or scroll smoother wrapper.
And then you can see, if you scroll now, you can see there's a transform applied to the content.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Very nice. Awesome. This is making sense to me.
And then the fact that the text is kind of staggered, that's because we've applied some lag. So we had lots of discussions at Greensock Towers about what to call this.
Delay
or like trail or all sorts of things. And we kind of thought that delay implies that it stops for a while and then it starts. We've already got delay in Greensock World, and trail just kind of sounds like a mouse effect. So we just decided to go with lag. We're doing lag, but like the good kind of lag, like the fun kind of lag. We're going both feet in on reclaiming this word.
Yeah, it's about time people respected this word again.
Yeah.
Let's take it back. No, it does make sense, right? Like, yeah, it generally has a bad connotation, but in this case, it
elements are kind of lagging behind the native scroll speed.
Exactly, yeah. And to Vidraz, good to see you. And yes, this is Greensock. I edited the title, not on the screen, but down below on Twitch, to include Greensock. Thank you for pointing out that didn't have it in the title there. But yes, this is Greensock, and this is the new ScrollSmooth animation plugin. It's the new thing from Greensock. ScrollSmoother. Yeah. Got it. Okay.
Someone said, does it overlap the text onto something right above it? There's like 3 different bits of text just to create a 3D effect.
Yeah, you probably could do something like a before and after thing, but for a demo, this is more clear. That you know exactly what's happening. Cool. Okay, so heading index.
Can we take a look at some of the demos?
Yes. Guide me. I'm happy to go wherever.
Okay, so the one with the mountains. Let's have a little look at that.
All right, let's do it. I'll drop this in chat as well. Can we find Cassie on Insta? I don't think so.
No one's allowed to find me on Insta because I'm not developer Cassie on Insta. I'm just normal Cassie, the human. And lots of developers keep trying to follow me on Insta, and I'm like, no. This is where I do my non-dev things.
Yep. That is a very healthy separation.
Thank you for the interest.
Yes. Brody model. Yes. Tros. What? Life. Should I click this? Oh my gosh. No, I have to click this. Here we go. Life. What am I?
Did he make a Brody model?
I think he did. Let me see if I can.
Oh my gosh.
Life is incredible.
Brody, come here.
You don't know. What am I supposed to open this in? Life. What am I supposed to open this in? And thank you, Oliver. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna go get the dog. Come here, buddy.
Open this in Blender. Sorry for the quick derailing. Yeah, just let me know. It's jank, haha, or GLTF viewer. I'll check it out at the end. Don't let me forget. I just don't want to. First off, I don't want the stream to be brought to you by Coco Chanel. But we got Brody. Okay, I will open Blender. All right, we'll make this happen.
I think it's you.
It will be in a second. Open with. Let me see if can I drag it in. So I'm doing it off screen real quick. Downloads.
If we can't see it, it's fine. I'm okay. Just cuddling the dog for a bit.
That works too.
Hey.
What type am I opening? I'm trying to. So like Windows isn't giving me an option to what kind of file was this that you dropped to me? Is this a GLTF or a GLB? Open with, choose another app. Let's just do Blender, more apps. It's not even offering me Blender. That's the weird thing here. Yeah, I don't want to derail this anymore right now. Sorry, Life. I will check it out. You have to import it as a GLTF. Okay, one more second. Well, give it one more second. Import GLTF.
Everyone's just looking at Brody anyway.
This is true. That is the best part of the show. Brody GLB. Here we go. Let's see what we've got. Oh, this might be good. Oh my God. Life. I'm glad we pushed through because this is pretty great. I hope Blender doesn't crash. Are there textures or should I how should I view this?
It's you, buddy.
How should I view this? Rendering? No. Shading, animation. I think that's going to be, yeah, it looks like his textures are off or something, or low res. I don't know. But well done. Maybe I need it to be in cycles. No, I don't think it's going to change anything. Either way, hey, Alec. Hey, Aiden, good to see you. All right. Thank you, Life. I appreciate this. I'm going to close this out. Well done.
I'm going to put the dog down.
The fact that Life does this in like 5 minutes is just always amazing.
That's so impressive.
All right. Thank you, Life. I appreciate you. We can we could have used a GLTF web viewer. Anyway, next time. All right, back to this. We've got stuff to look at. Oh, cool. Okay.
So this is some parallaxy stuff.
Did I drop this one in chat yet? I'm going to say. Oh, that's
so this
nice.
is a really common effect that people are going for, is this kind of like parallax image effect. And what's happening here is you've got containers around the images, and then the containers are overflow hidden, and then we're moving the images inside the containers.
Got it.
And so many people ask for help with this in the GSAP forums that we've basically included a little cheat code. If you look at the speed of the images, the speed is set to auto.
Okay.
So the speed is how quickly elements scroll through the viewport. And with speed auto, you're basically saying to ScrollSmoother that you want a parallax image effect. So it's looking at how tall the containing element is and how tall the image inside it is. And then it's just doing the offsets for you.
Wow. Oh, the fact that we're getting that effect with just this is really exciting. Like, I don't need to master anything new. It's just like, this is a really cool effect for a very small amount of code.
Super nice and easy.
Yeah, and I can see that you have had
Hey,
several
green
people.
socks.
Oh, nice.
That was really nice.
You've had several people reverse the order of this. I can tell. The comments like, please do this first.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's very important to create the ScrollSmoother first,
Makes sense.
and then all the rest of your GSAP animations.
That's great though. So what would speed be otherwise? Is this in seconds? Or is this a
So speed 1 would be an element would scroll through the page at the same speed. If you go back to the ScrollSmoother page, you can see a little bit better.
Okay.
So yeah, speed 1 would be the same speed as the scroll, and then 0.5 would be half the speed of the scroll.
Oh, we're going fast.
And then
wow. Okay, now it's also making the web page longer, I'm seeing. Is that just my imagination, or?
So it would, because it would be transforming them further down so that because they have to travel a longer distance.
Okay, so it does make the page a bit longer. Okay, got it. Nice. Okay.
Probably hard to see the effect on this page because you've got all the images inside divs with overflow hidden.
Containers, yeah.
So
it was very clear when it was like, pew, just like flying by. God, okay. So do we want to make one?
Should we make something?
Yeah, I think we can. You sent me, not this. So we've got like a starter here.
Big empty page.
I love big empty pages. Are there demos with WebGL or shaders or something?
If you go back to the ScrollSmoother page.
All right.
That blue one up at the top.
Yeah.
I think this one's using 3JS. Yeah. So again, like you can use ScrollSmoother to do anything you want. You can tap into velocity values, and you can tap into delta and stuff like that. So if you want to control like a 3JS scene, or you want to control a shader, you can do that. It's all just numbers at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's great. That's always one of my favorite things about GreenSock is that like what it can animate is pretty much any value, any number, whether that's in 3JS or in shaders or you name it. It's incredibly versatile, very performant, and it's a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite things to play with. So this is really cool. These are fun. I thank you to all the folks who make these demos, because they just opens up a lot of doors for what is possible, and it inspires a lot of like, oh, what if I did this with, right? It's great. CodePen's a wonderful place. So we have this split header starter that you've created for us.
Yeah. So in the code, if you take a little look there, I've added a little div there, which is just going to do a swipe effect. And at the moment, the div is covering up. So if we go into the CSS, I think there's like a image swipe somewhere down at the bottom.
Anim swipe?
Yeah, we could let's put opacity 0 on that, and then we can see what it will look like, and then we can do some animating.
Sounds good. Cool.
Cool. So we've just got like a header image, basically like 100 viewport height header image, and then as you scroll down the page, it just moves up. So that's kind of pretty standard.
Yeah. Should I fork this before we get too far, just so we don't, like, if it freezes or something, we don't lose our progress? Because right now we don't have any way to save it if we do, but it's
yeah, fork it. Go for it.
It's private, so I'll have to just copy it over real quick.
Oh, we can make it not private.
Up to you. You want to do that? Whichever's easier. I'll keep doing this until you tell me to stop.
You're probably going to manage to do that faster than me, so you do that.
And then for JavaScript, I'm doing external scripts or packages?
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a good point. So I'll give you the right one.
Can go 3.10. Would that do it?
It's public now.
Ah, cool. All right, I'll refresh. Reload.
Much easier.
All right, and forking. Pen forked. Sweet. All right, so
awesome.
Now we were adding opacity 0 to this anim swipe. Cool. All right.
Yeah, that was just to see what was going on, but we can take that off now.
Okay, cool.
Now that everyone's seen the image. So what we're going to do is we've separated this image out into those different panels, and then as we scroll down, we want them all to slide up at different points, different speeds. So we're going to kind of mix up some ScrollSmoother and Scroll Trigger to do this. All so we can, let's do like just a simple GSAP tween to start off with. So we're going to do a GSAP 2 and we're going to animate that anim swipe, like those divs. And we're just going to animate them to slide upwards and show the image. So this is going to be like an intro animation.
Okay.
I'm testing your GSAP knowledge now. They've been on so many times.
It stands for green sock something or other, right? It's green sock. So we want to have anim swipe, and then we want to move it up is basically all we're doing. Yeah. So you go like Y 100%.
Y. Or we could do, if you're doing 100%, we can do Y% instead.
Like that?
Yeah.
What?
And then just 100, so like a number.
That's cool. Okay. But it doesn't like it. Invalid or unexpected token.
Unexpected token. Oh, have you included GreenSock?
I mean, I forked the pen. Does it?
Should have everything.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not throwing an error here. It's throwing the error here. Anim swipe.
Looks fine to me. Oh, it's not throwing the error anymore, is it?
Oh, no, it is not. Okay. It seems to have gotten over itself. Okay, cool. But it's also not working. Second problem.
Have you got a run button?
No. I don't like the run button's optional, right? I don't have like mine automatically plays. So
interesting. How tall is this? Yeah, maybe do opacity. Let's just see whether that works. Is it targeting the right thing? Oh, it's not underscore, swipe. It's dash.
Okay, I'm about to check that.
Dash.
There it is. That makes sense. All right, back to Y%, and then 100.
Hooray!
All right, we're learning stuff. But negative 100?
Awesome.
Because we want it to go up?
Yeah, let's do that. Negative 100.
All right, cool.
Nice. Okay, so I kind of want a stagger with that though, because I don't want them all to go up at the same time. So inside that tween, after the Y%, let's say stagger, and then we're going to pass in an object. And then we can say that we want, let's say each 0.1. So that's going to put 0.1 seconds in between all of them.
Cool.
And that's going to go from the left-hand side, but you can also say from and then say random. And then it will just do a random order.
Nice.
Which is kind of fun.
It's very fun. I like it a lot.
So yeah, awesome.
It's also like center and edges and stuff, right? Like there's a few different options there. Cool.
You can even do grid as well. You can define a grid and say where you want it to go from in the grid.
Nice. Awesome. All right. What do we do
awesome.
next?
So the next bit, let's do let's just do a like normal scroll triggered animation as well.
Okay. Cool.
So what we want is all of the different images that we've got inside these containers. As we scroll down, I want them all to kind of like move slightly. So let's do another GSAP tween. We'll do GSAP 2. And then I don't know whether I put an ID on the images. Should we have a little look?
Images don't seem to have an ID.
We can just...
Hero image container.
Yeah, we can pass in hero image container. They'll do a CSS selector. So any images that are inside there.
So like that? Or would you do...
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that'll work. That's perfect.
All right.
So we want to scale them up a little bit. So yeah, let's say, yeah, that'll be good. And then we're going to try tie scroll trigger into this. So in order to make this a scroll triggered animation, do you remember how we do this?
I don't remember this.
Testing, Alex.
Yep, nope, don't remember this one.
So you say scroll trigger.
Cap or?
Small letter. And then capital T. And then we're going to pass in an object.
Okay.
Awesome. So this is saying like we want this animation to be tied to the scroll. So we'll pass in a trigger element. So we can pass in like maybe the hero. I think it's the whole thing is hero. Yeah. Right. Awesome. We'll say hero. And then if you set markers to be true, we can see where these markers are.
Tip the chat, don't ship your site with markers true on.
Yeah, don't do that.
Because I've done it, and it's not impressive to folks who are looking at your site. Yeah. So just small tip.
So cool. Yeah, those triggers look pretty good to me. Like we've got, oh no, wait, so that's saying start. We want start to be the top and the top. So at the moment we've got the start as the top of the element when the top of the element hits the bottom of the viewport. So we want to say when the top of the element hits the top of the viewport.
I'll be completely honest. I still, even with the markers, that like all that you just said still warps my brain a little bit. I've used scroll trigger a bunch. I still struggle to wrap my head around the start and end and scroller start, scroller end dynamic. I don't know. It's not, yeah.
So the start point that you can see there, the little green one, that trigger point is at the start. It's at the beginning of that element.
Okay.
And the second value, we haven't actually defined a start. So let's do that, and then it will make more sense. So cool. Let's say start. And then we pass in two values. So the first one is referring to the element itself, and then the second one is referring to the viewport. Okay. So there's keywords that you can use like start and end and center, but you can also use percentages if that works better. So we'll say top. It's not start and end, sorry, it's top, bottom, and center. So yeah, we'll say top and top.
All right, so that's saying scroller start and start to the top.
Yeah. So that's the top of the element and the top of the viewport. But we could change the first value there to a percentage. So we could say like 25%. And then that's saying when 25% of the way down the first element hits the top of the viewport.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Hey, you.
Gonna be honest, not Brody's best singing. It's not an inspired performance.
No, it was the postman. I'm sorry.
Oh, in fairness.
It's his mortal enemy.
Yeah, I mean, that's not Brody's fault at all. How dare the postman even try to step to Brody like that? Really, really rude. While we have that brief Brody, not interruption, but interlude, I do want to say, chat, I blew it again on the I Wonder feature. So we have a great feature here at Front End Horse, where if you type exclamation mark I wonder or wonder, so what's so great about ScrollSmoother? I almost said schmoother. SMOOTHER. If you type that, and if I toggle back and forth a little bit, it'll show up there. And we will for sure get that question by the end of chat or by the end of the stream. So if you have a question and we haven't maybe answered it, or maybe we can't get to it right this second, type "!I wonder" or "wonder," and it'll get captured here, and we will get to it at the end for a nice little, maybe a little Q&A session at the end. So drop that there. Sorry about plugging it an hour into the stream. Ha 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 ha. Oh well. Anyway, better late than never, right? And Travis, thank you for dropping that in there. Or kind of. Wonder when this will not be forgotten. Thanks, Travis. I already felt bad about it, man. Cool. So we are back. Brody has murdered the postman, and we are good to continue with this. So what is next?
Good boy.
Yeah, it's a good boy.
So do the triggers make a little bit more sense to you, like the positioning of them?
I will forget and remain confused, but that did help, where 25% of the trigger area, and then the top is the second value here is for the viewport.
The window itself, yeah. We can actually do this in a more simple way, considering there's nothing else on the page. So we could get rid of the trigger entirely, and we could say start 0.
Okay. Start just...
And that's saying just like
no
right
string,
at the very
just
top.
0?
Yeah, just 0. And then end as a string, you can say max. And that's... yeah, so that's saying like the very beginning and the very end.
Oh, got it. And it'll end at the... Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Got a couple options here.
So right now we've just got this animation being triggered when we kind of move the scroll slightly. So it's like the trigger is moved slightly past the start position and the animation kicks in. Right. And it's like by default, it's a 0.5 second long animation.
Okay.
But we want to tie it to the scroll. So we're going to say scrub. I'm going to say scrub true.
Cool.
And then that's going to tie that to the scroll progress. So as you scroll down, the images get bigger.
Obvious.
Yeah, let's make it a bit bigger. Whoa. Awesome.
Nice.
I want to offset it a little bit on the x-axis as well. So let's say x%. And then we can do maybe like 20 just on the x-axis. So it's just going to shift it in the container a little bit.
Nice. That's
awesome.
A fun effect. Cool.
So yeah, now we get to add a scroll smoother
nice.
Animation in there. So we're going to make a on another line we're going to say smoother.effects.
We have to create the smoother first, right?
Have we already created it? Oh, nope. We haven't created it. It's got to be right at the top, above our GSAP tween.
Oh, above all the tweens.
Above all of the tweens.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta do that first.
Okay. Is it because it needs to go back and like be aware of these tweens, or that it kind of injects itself into these tweens as it goes? Like it needs to be instantiated.
Scroll trigger's got to kind of measure positioning and stuff, and it's important that ScrollSmoother is set up first, so it's measuring the right positioning for everything, and also looking for any effects that are on the elements and setting up the wrappers and all of that stuff.
Okay. I'm making up the syntax as I go. Is this
so ScrollSmoother.create? So almost there, but we're going to get rid of the GSAP and say ScrollSmoother.create. Then we'll pass an object in there as well. Cool. So we can just pass in the content as well. So let's take a little look in the HTML and see what we've got as an ID. So we can pass in. We'll pass in the wrapper and the content then. We've got a wrapper.
Right. Okay. Cool. So that's like our full DOM element. So content. Yeah. Right. No, sorry. I'm confusing this. So content is content here. So that's the guts of it, the inside, and then wrapper is.
You'll need to put an ID as well in there.
Good call.
Do you have a mouse wheel as well? Because it looks very smooth already.
I do have a mouse wheel, if that's
So before we set this up, you should scroll down just like with the mouse wheel in increments so people can see that it's like...
Should I comment this out?
Yeah, comment that out.
Cool. I think did I start something? Yeah. For some reason, this got destroyed at the end. Don't know what happened. All right, that's fixed. Cool.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, so you can see with the mouse wheel, it just kind of like jumps down in increments.
Chunky, yeah. Chunk. It happens just as I scroll. There's no delay, no lag, as some might put it. But now, if we bring this in, wrapper, content, is there anything else we need to do here?
No, because I think it will just have smoothing by default.
We don't need to like...
But we can also set just ties in really nicely.
Scroll trigger's gonna pick it up? Okay.
Yeah,
you're right. I mean, not that, I knew you were right because this is your job, but I'm just still surprised. Okay,
I doubt myself. I've been awake for quite a long time getting this release out, so it's anyone's guess. But we can make it more smooth as well, so we can pass in a different smooth value. So we can say smooth, and then we can say like 2 seconds, for instance. I think the default value is like 1 second. But again, I would probably check up rather than believe me.
And I let go. Scroll. Nice. And let go. Got it. So this reminds me a little bit. What's the difference between smooth 2 and scrub 2?
Yeah. That's a really good question. So smooth is like the animation is tied completely to the scroll bar. But if you up the scrub value, that's saying we want to wait 2 seconds. Like this animation needs to take 2 seconds to catch up with the scroll position. So you can create kind of smooth scrolling-esque effects by changing the scrub value. But smooth scroller is basically doing a scrub on the whole content.
Yeah. There's a key distinction that I kind of want to like show to chat. So like as you said, scrub, if it's true, that just means you're kind of like scrubbing through the playhead of an animation, right? Like you're using the scroll bar the same way that you would grab a YouTube video thumb and kind of go back and forth. Yeah. The number here is the amount of time that you're giving the animation to catch up when, like, if I drag it out to here, it'll take 5 seconds to catch up to there, right? It's the delay there. The difference here, like if I set the scrub to 5, my scroll isn't affected. I'll scroll down at the same rate, but the animation will take 5 seconds. So I scrolled down, but the animation took 5 seconds to catch up, right?
To catch up, yeah.
But I'm showing myself and chat, not you, Cassie. I'm not explaining your thing to you. I'm just like trying to like make sure I get the difference between smooth and scrub. But now it'll take 5 seconds, I think, to scroll down and catch up. Yeah, so I scrolled a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the scroll that's smoothed out over 5 seconds, and the animation goes with it because it's tied in. But it's like the delay. Yeah,
exactly.
Cool. Okay. Now I know when to use which. Thanks.
And
That's
you
really
can
cool.
You can additionally change the scrub value of the animation, and then the scroll will take however many seconds to catch up to the native scroll point, and then the animation will take however many extra seconds to catch up. But I think that's probably going a little bit overboard. So
I do this just so that people in chat lose their minds. They're just sitting there going, "Hit save, you son of a..." Yeah. All right, chat. I'll do it. They get real angry. So yeah, that's interesting. It changes. Like they're both moving at different rates now, but it's a really nice experience. It's pretty cool. I like that. Well, it changed scrub back to true.
Awesome. So we're going to add some effects now. So all of those different panels, I want them to animate at different speeds. So I want them to travel past up the viewport at different speeds.
Okay.
And we can do this by adding, we can add data attributes. So let's do that first. So let's go into our HTML. And And let's just, on one of the images, just add data dash speed. And let's say like 2. So this one will go at twice the speed of all of the other ones.
Automatically,
then,
without putting anything in our JavaScript?
We've set effects true, so it should be listening to it. Is it listening to it?
I don't think we did.
Oh, no, we haven't. Okay, so we have to add effects true, and then Smoother's going to listen.
Cool.
Going to check out the DOM and see if we've got any data attributes added.
All right, so it should be this one, and that should scroll. Yeah, it absolutely does. Yeah, I was like ready to squint and see if there's a difference. Yeah, I think there's a difference for sure. That's cool.
And they'll reach their natural position in the viewport when they're in the middle. So if you're like, trying to figure out layout or whatever, like the page when the elements are in the middle of the viewport, they'll be at the right position. And then they'll kind of be slightly further down or slightly higher up, depending on how you scroll.
Okay, cool. So do we want
to
throw some more of these on there? Is that the idea?
We could do that, or we could do it in JavaScript. So let's do a bit in JavaScript.
I know a little JavaScript, so yeah, let's
a little bit.
Yeah, I dabble. I'm 10% fluent on Duolingo, so no big deal.
So yeah, the options there, like you can add data attributes, or you can change the effects in the JavaScript. So let's, underneath the smoother, let's say smoother.effects. And that's just set up like a normal tween. So we'll pass in the hero image container. That needs a class.
Yeah.
Dot.
Forgetting those.
Yeah. And then we can pass in, no, just the container.
Cool.
So we're going to pass in an object, and then we'll set the speed. And we're going to do a function.
Sorry. People are coming in the chat for the first time. Nova Glow, thanks for coming through. They say I was told there'd be a Brody.
Brody. You want a sausage? You want sausage?
We're definitely gonna get some Brody. We're definitely gonna get a Brody.
Come on, up you get. Good boy. He's like, this is the best day ever. I'm getting so much sausage.
See, your GreenSock memberships help feed this one adorable dog.
Good boy. He's just going to be here poking me for sausages now.
I think Brody needs to renegotiate his contract with GreenSock for sure.
Good boy.
Cool. So,
what were we doing?
We were adding smoother effects. Yes, speed.
So the handy bit about doing this stuff in JavaScript is that you can kind of get it to do the heavy lifting for you. So let's give them all a different speed. So we're going to do a functional value. So do like a little arrow function. And then we can use GSAP utils to choose a different random value. So we're going to say gsap.utils. And this is like a thing that a lot of people, random. So this is a thing that a lot of people don't know that GSAP has. So we've got loads of utility functions and stuff that are really useful for like creative coding and animation in general, and kind of getting like the values that you'd get from Observer. You can kind of map them to a range, or you can clamp them within a range, or you can normalize them, or you can do a selection of all of these things. So it's really helpful for kind of taking some values from something and then piping them into an animation.
I love this one especially.
In the way that you want them
all the time. I think wrap is super handy. But yeah, it's a
super handy.
Great bunch of utilities. I appreciate them. Cool. So
let's do like between like 0.5 and 1 maybe, and then let's increment, like we want to choose a value like every
the steps,
maybe 0.1. Cool. The steps would be like 0.1, so they're all like reasonably far apart.
Cool. And we should just
let's give that a go.
Nice.
Hey,
and that's going to be different every time, right? So if we save, it'll reload, And we should get a slightly...
We could even do it from like 0.5 to 2 maybe. And
then let's do it.
Get some bigger.
Yeah, because we have 2 even ones there. That's no fun. All right, let's get this. Oh, look at that. That's really nifty.
Nice.
That's a cool effect. That was a little extreme, but still really good. So, Carl, thank you so much for those bits. Really appreciate it. You are fantastic. And Louie's here. You are fantastic.
It's Louie here, Louie.
Louie, so good to see you. Just popping in for leaving my place. Have a great stream. Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
On the topic of Carl, if you're watching this and you really want to get to grips with GSAP and you don't know where to start, Carl's animation training is like the best out there. So
yeah, for sure.
Shout out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nose green sock in and out. Yeah, Carl, good.
Used to work for Green Sock, in fact.
I wonder how he got
I stole his job years down the line.
Yeah. That's how that works, right? Yeah.
Years after he left it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, do we want to add anything else to this neat thing? It's just really fun fact.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is there anything like chat wants to know? Do you want to have a look at any demos? Do you have any questions?
I kind of have so fill your questions. Do you mind if we play with an idea that I've got here? I would love to. I know this is a really like hip, cool photo and everything. I get it.
You want to put a picture of a horse?
No, but maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I want to grab something with color is the only thing. I'm really not being picky here, but I am at the same time. Ooh, it's alcohol. It's not that kind of stream,
like,
folks.
It's a really cool photo, but like it would be better if it was a horse.
Yeah, if that guy was a horse, I'd be all about it.
If that guy was a horse.
I say that about a lot of people though. I'd be like, yeah, he's fine, but if he was a horse, I'd be way more on board. All right, so copy image address.
I'll give you sausage if you come up. Good boy.
Do I need to do anything fancier? Yeah, let's see. Assets code pen. I'm just trying to like download. I don't want to download it and upload it. That's the whole thing.
There's no horses in that picture, Alex.
I know. There's horsepower. That's really what I'm going for. No, I don't want to do that. Can I just grab? Oh, wow. This is Kiev.
Oh.
Wow. Whew. Still gonna use it.
Brings everything back to perspective a bit.
Right? It really does. How did you get this little URL? Is there like a nicer way?
That's from the assets panel in CodePen. I can find you a picture of a horse if you want.
Let's do it.
Do you want a horse?
Nope. I forget that this is here, honestly. And by forget, I mean I don't know if I knew this was here. I know, like, I've got my own files here, but I don't think I ever
it's from Unsplash. It's really
wonderful.
Good.
Yeah, that's really great.
Handy.
Copied Unsplash photo. Thank you. Wonderful CodePen.
Thank you, CodePen.
CodePen's great. One of my favorite tools. Things ever. Okay, cool. We got this neat thing. All right. I just want to play. Can we do like on scroll? We do a little bit of like filtering. Like I'm thinking like a hue rotate or like turning up, because like with black and white, there's not a lot that you can. I guess we could have went like brightness or whatever. But what can we do here, Cassie? Play with me real quick. So we're moving this down. Start and no, that's just the scroll trigger. Here's what we want. So how would we do like a hue rotate filter here?
So we could just do that with CSS. I usually wouldn't recommend animating CSS filters or SVG filters, but it's for fun, so that's totally fine. So we could, in our scroll trigger animation.
Okay, here.
Yeah, so we've got the animation that's on the images and it's sizing them up. So we could add a filter onto that as well. So filter, and then it will have to be a string. Oh, we could do a what's it called with the string with the thing with the JavaScript in the middle?
This boy, the
Yeah, that boy. That boy.
Trying to think of what you would call it.
with the dollar sign and
the winky boy or the
the winky boys.
I don't know. Although I think you would call a semicolon a winky boy. So for anyone who's out there going, what are they talking about? Cassie calls parentheses
curly boys and square boys.
I thought those are round boys.
Round boys.
Okay, there's a round boys, square boys, and curly boys. Got it. Okay, so these are the winky boy. I don't know. Anyway, so we've got one of these, and then you want to make a.
So like out. Then we can do a like GSAP utils and do a random in there. But outside of that, let's put what is it? Is it hue rotate?
Yes, what is it? Hue rotate.
There's a hue. Yeah, hue rotate. Yeah, that's the one. Excellent.
That's hue hyphen rotate.
And then that's just 360 degrees, isn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's do like a random in there. We'll do GSAP utils random. And we'll do the same as we did earlier. So like between 0 and 360, and then can increment that. Maybe do 10 because then they'll be further apart.
Good call. Yeah. I mean, depending on where they fall. Yeah. Same difference. Cool. So we should see some kind of a change here, but we don't. Interesting. What are we doing? Let's see if anyone in chat is seeing. What about animating a custom property?
Template literal. That's the one.
That is it. Yeah. You are right, Adrian. Good to see you here. Okay, what's happening? Filter.
Yeah, we could do a CSS variable.
Okay. So
that might be a better way. So let's add a filter on the image.
All right, where are our images? Anim swipe. Do we have a thing for them yet? I don't know if we do.
There should be. Image. That's the one.
Is it image container?
Container.
It's this one?
Image.
All right, cool. So do you want to do filter? And then
wait, that's the anim swipe, isn't it? Oh, that's image
so
and
let's just do
swipe.
image.
We'll just make a new one.
Filter, hue, rotate, and then let's go.
And then we'll do a CSS variable.
Hyphen hue. Real original name. But then here, do we have to? So we're gonna edit.
So we'll get rid of that.
Right?
You don't have to put it in a string. Oh no, you do. You do have to put it in a string. That's right. And then then we can just pass in a number there. So that should work. Working. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Inspect it in the DOM. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah. So style hue. Oh, so it's changing, but it doesn't want to play.
Let's have a look in the computed styles.
Yeah, let's
take
do
a little look. Maybe we've spelled
and then
wrong.
We're not going to play much longer than that because I don't want to derail everything and make it filter none. Interesting. Hue rotate far hue.
Rotate.
It doesn't want to filter. Just doesn't want one. Filter none. So image. Filter hue rotate. Hue rotate 0 degrees and then it removes.
Maybe
interesting. Can you not rotate? I don't know. Can you not?
Is it in degrees? Is it CSS? Does it have to have a unit value?
Let's put the template literal boys back on there.
I think it has to be.
Okay. Cool, Bach. Thank you. As always, you're saving my
degrees.
But
yeah, let's try that.
All right, let's try it. Yeah. Hey. All right. I love it. Let's just go wild.
Oh, it's doing the same one for all
of them
because we haven't made it an arrow function. So we need to make that an arrow function. And then it will and it'll do a different one.
It's gonna get wild. That one's definitely different than that one. That's fun. You can do all kinds of stuff.
We should do it from because we're doing it from 0 to 360, so we should do it from like 200 to 360 or 100. So it's definitely got to change.
Yeah.
Because 0 won't have any change.
Yeah. It's just going wild. Nice. Ooh. So yeah, you can do all kinds of fun stuff. Sorry, I just wanted to play with like the images moving, but also like getting brighter or something. You can do all kinds of stuff. But that's a lot of fun. Thank you, Cassie, for indulging me. And Alan, thank you for gifting that sub to Coolbach. Really, really appreciate you. That's awesome. Cool. So thank you for letting me ruin your awesome demo here. I'm going to remove this bit so that it's not as... yeah, I just went in and destroyed it. So now it's nice. It's still cool. I love this. Thank you, Cassie.
I quite like the purple waterfall, to be honest.
It's kind of fun, right? It's kind of fun. It's a good time. We have a lot of questions I saw pour in, even though we put that up kind of late. We had lots of folks. Yeah, here we go. So let me check this out. And
so the reduced motion is a good question. And maybe Jack's listening, because that's a thing that I've been talking about, whether we can make it a little bit of an easier thing for developers. But, you know, it's very easy to do reduced motion checks in JavaScript. If you're interested about how to create animations that are like accessible, I wrote an article on CSS tricks about empathetic animation. So you can check that one out. It's got all sorts of like handy GSAP tips about how to make your animations like a little bit more friendly for people. I wonder if Alex is Googling it. He might be Googling it.
I don't know. I had that link just in my clipboard anyway. That's what, yeah. I already had the link there. I just dropped it on chat. I just realized chat's not actually here. You can't see chat right now. Another flaw of the system. But yeah.
Yeah, and I'm really, that's like a big thing. I'm super into creating animations that are also like user friendly. So if you've ever got any questions about that, that's totally my jam. So hit me up and I'll ramble at you for ages, and then you'll regret ever asking me. You'll be like, I've been talking to her for days. Why wouldn't she leave me alone?
I haven't answered it in weeks, and she just keeps going. No, but that and that's exactly why when you were coming out with a smooth scrolling plugin, I'm like, this is gonna be a good one. This is going to be one of the good ones. So cool. Yeah, I think part of this, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Cassie, but part of this is like, you know, I think at first glance, people want to say, well, make animations being off the default and only opt in if they can, you know, like animation libraries.
Than that. Yeah, because there's all sorts of animations. There's animations that are just aesthetic, which sure, it's better to have those switched off. But then there's also animations that help people like find their way around an interface and explain things, and move things around, like move modals out of the way and show content and hide content. And you kind of, it's very difficult to just take a all off, all on approach to it. You do have to put kind of time and thought and care into it, so it does make it a little bit tricky for us to offer kind of like a big button. But we're going to see whether there's something that we can do to make it a little bit easier. We already have match media with scroll trigger.
Cool. And
match media lets you kind of set up animations for mobile or for desktop, and they get killed at different screen sizes. But you can also use reduce motion with that, so you can set up all of your scroll trigger animations and say, like, if someone's got reduced motion set, then don't do any of these. So it's quite simple in scroll trigger to set up scroll triggered animations with reduced motion in mind. Cool.
That's great. It's always going to come down to the developer's discretion, unfortunately, for better or worse, right? And Luxonata, thank you for that sub. 8 months. I really appreciate you. Great to have you here. Aaron says reduced motion does not have to mean no motion, just not excessive. Yeah, like specific kinds of motion. Yeah. Well said, Aaron. Cool. But yeah, Adrian, great question, because it's very important. Never, Travis, is the answer here. Just never. It's never gonna be. I'll always forget it. That's part of the you know. It's what makes the show special. People come here to say, is he going to forget it? And he did. Yeah, it's fun for everyone. Lucy asks, I wonder if there are different distributions of GSAP for production/development or tree shaking, as in you might, like maybe you don't need the code responsible for markers in production, so better shave it off the bundle.
So we used to, back in the day, we had like Tween Light and Tween Max and like different kind of versions of GSAP. And it became quite difficult because people weren't sure what was included in which version. And basically we focus more on having like all the tools that you need for animation, and they are separated out into like the core library and the plugins and stuff. So no is the answer, but also like if you want an animation library that solves all of the bugs and kind of is reliable and has all the things that you can lean on, then GSAP's the one to go for.
Cool. Okay, so like, yeah, like the biggest bundle reduction is like, well, if we're building an entirely new functionality like Observer or like ScrollSmoother, it's going to be in a plugin so that it's optional. You don't have to like,
yeah, it's optional,
bring it along every time. Cool.
Yeah.
Travis, still never. That's me. I wonder, so it's from Natalia. I wonder if it's okay performance-wise to have multiple ScrollSmoother instances on a single page. If, for example, I wanted to have different smooth values for different sections, what would be the best way to go on a content-heavy page with different animations?
So you wouldn't have multiple ScrollSmoothers per page because ScrollSmoother adds like smooth scrolling to the page itself. But you could have multiple scroll triggers. Scroll triggers are kind of set up at the beginning. They kind of measure where everything is. And they're not constantly kind of checking in with the scroll progress. So it's not like if you add loads and loads and loads of different scroll triggers, you've got loads of events constantly running. Everything's kind of pre-calculated up front. So it's perfectly fine to have multiple scroll triggers. It's also, if you wanted different sections of your page to scroll at different speeds, then you could set different data speeds or lags on them. So that would be the same as kind of having different smooth values. But yeah, you would only have one scroll smoother on a page.
Got it. So how would, if I wanted to change this value like halfway through the page, is that possible, or is that kind of locked in as soon as I declare this?
Don't actually know. I don't know why you would want to change the smooth value at a certain point down the page.
Natalia says, if, for example, I wanted to have different smooth values for different sections.
So it looks like you can. So it's a getter setter. So you could, at certain points, like change the smooth value. But I think that the effect that she's thinking about is different sections scrolling at different speeds, like feeling. Okay. Like they've got a different speed, like smooth value, and that's kind of more changing the speed on different sections.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Would be the one. Cool. You can also like you can control the you can change the smooth value, but you can also like kill the scroll smoother, or you can pause the scroll smoother as well. So there's like a demo in the collections. Someone brought up that if you open up a modal, you might want to pause the smooth scrolling in the background. So you can do that with paused and then kind of restart the smooth scrolling.
Cool. That's awesome. And to Alan in chat, I wonder and wonder are both alias. So as long as your exclamation mark thing has the word wonder on it, yeah, I'm pretty sure we can find out, but I'm pretty sure you could do exclamation mark Alan wonders and it would work, just because I'm just doing a regex for the word wonder inside an exclamation mark command. So that should work. So your thing's probably in there twice if you went back and did it. But yeah, it should be more clear. I agree. B wonders, does this work? We'll find out. All right, cool. And Natalia says, great answer.
Lots great. Good questions.
Brent says or asks, I wonder, is there any guidelines on motion/animation for accessibility, like speed, timings, flashing, how slow or fast do things need to be on reduced motion? It's,
again, just it really depends. Like animation is such a broad topic. Some helpful details that I can give you are the things that are the most triggering for people with vestibular disorders are parallax effects. So pretty much everything that we've looked at today is going to be incredibly jarring for someone with vestibular disorders. So you'd want to disable that. Opacity fades, totally fine. Small animations that last for like a very short period of time and don't take up a lot of space, they're usually fine as well. So it's usually like big swiping animations, parallax animations, that kind of thing, that are the worst. But again, like do your homework, do your user testing, kind of test out these things.
Yeah, that's great advice.
And read my article on CSS tricks.
There it is. Gotta plug that.
Gotta plug it.
Otherwise,
it's also got some links to some people who are cleverer than I am and have done lots of studies as well. So
that's the best way to write articles, I find. Like, yeah, I've read these things. Let me distill it down into friendly words for you. So yeah, but also then like go read those for real, because I might be misunderstanding these. Is like my whole thing.
Yeah,
right. I probably got this wrong, so just go double check my work, please. Cool, great answer. Thank you for.
So again, on the wonder, can you speed up and slow down based on where in the page someone is? So that would be kind of getting into scroll jacking territory, like saying, oh, we want to like change the user's native scroll, and that's not really what ScrollSmoother does. So you can scroll sections with the data speed attribute. If you want a section to scroll slower, then you could do that with data speed. You could also pin a section for a while with scroll trigger. So yeah, and you could also like pin and then animate through some photos.
Yeah, I love those effects.
So you could tie the animation into the scroll if you wanted it to kind of last for a certain amount of time. So yeah, there's you can do all of these things, but you just kind of have to like look at what Scroll Trigger offers and what ScrollSmoother offers, and probably pop into the GSAP forums and ask us some questions and we'll help you.
Cool. Sounds good. And Alan asked that twice, and yes, absolutely. Let me just real quick refresh it, because it is a very low-tech thing that I put together in a couple days and never updated. So let me see. So I think it goes in order. I wonder, does this work? It sure does, and it sure does. So I'm glad we settled this. And I wonder if I type wonder a lot. No, so it's only at the beginning, Alan. It doesn't show up multiple times. It's basically using a built-in Twitch thing where it looks for that in the beginning. They call them commands or something. I don't know. It's using Comfy.js under the hood. So if you're familiar with Comfy.js, and I know Brent is, yeah, it's doing stuff with that. But Cassie, you made it through the Q&A. Well done. You get 10 points for that.
I remembered my words as well.
You did great. But yeah. Do you have anything coming up? Any workshops, any talks, any fun things that you want to plug?
Nothing for me, really. Oh, Brody.
What about for Brody? Does Brody have any concert apperances?
Brody, do you have any concerts?
Appearances?
Yeah. Do you want? He's like, I would just like some sausages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that mostly just it would be good to let people know where they can find out things from today. So we're going to do a release and we'll be posting all about it on Twitter. And I've done a couple of instructional videos as well on ScrollSmoother and on Observer. So if you learn through videos, then you can watch those. And then otherwise, like the docs, there's lots of information in the docs, and there's loads of code pens. We'll share the code pen collections. So if you learn through like tinkering or reading or watching, there should be something for you. And if you really get stuck, then pop into the GSAP forums and we will help you.
Yeah, you do a fantastic job of, and by you I mean the team there. It's you, Jack, and Brent.
Blake,
I never get Blake. I'm so sorry, man. I am so sorry. I was at least in the ballpark this time. Sometimes, yeah.
Blake is internet famous for being an incredibly smart, clever animation person.
Yeah.
If you go into the GSAP forums and someone asks something really complicated, there'll just be silence, and then Blake will jump in.
I promise you, chat. You could be like, "Hey, I have a 2 scale Earth and moon, and I want to launch a rocket to land on the moon.
Mad lad.
He'd be like, all right, here's the math for it. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, like he'll have it done by the afternoon. Seriously is a mad lad. But yeah, Adrian, the fun reveal is essentially, well, first off, that Brody's here. Brody, how you doing, buddy? Aru? Oh wait, he can't hear me. Can we get an Aru, you think?
Do you want to do a roo-roo? Brody roo! He's gone away. No. One smaller roo.
And then the big reveal is that GreenSock has a brand new plugin called ScrollSmoother, and it's pretty fantastic. It's gonna, like, I'm really excited for the web going forward, especially experiential websites. They're gonna now pick this up. I think it's going to be less of a bundle to ship because they're pulling in GreenSock. Like every site on awards uses GreenSock, and then they're also pulling in a second scroll smoothing, if I even said that right, library, and using both and trying to make them both work together. This is going to be a little bit more of a bundle, but not as much more as a second whole library. Going to be more accessibility friendly, like just so many benefits. I'm really excited to see people use this. Congratulations on the release any minute or day now. Congratulations on when it comes out.
When you hit the button.
Yeah, I gotta find the button. Is there a button?
Have you lost the button? Is that why it's taking so long?
Jack, push the button.
All the people that are like asking when the release is, I'm just gonna be like, Alex lost the button.
I'm good at being a scapegoat. That's my main like job in life for sure. Aaron, I don't know why you would. That's not a thing. But yeah, hit the button, Alex. Yeah, so they're working to get it out. GreenSock does not ship anything that's, it's got a few bugs, but whatever, let's put it out. So I totally understand why these things take time. And you have a great demo site and everything. And Cassie had to prepare to be on the stream. So they're busy folks. But Cassie, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for sharing Brody with us. He is always a delight. And chat, y'all were fantastic. If you're not already following here, chat, please follow or whatever the button is below. I forget sometimes. But we're always doing fun web development stuff. If you like animation, CSS, if you know HTML, button's a good button to hit down there. Yeah, always streaming here, always having fun. And on Thursday, you might know, Front End Horse /shows, Cassie, you might know this gentleman. Wait, no, I clicked on your face. That's not who I'm talking about. There we go. This guy is coming on Thursday. So yeah, Andy Bell, just fantastic Andy, is coming on to teach us fluid typography, space, and layouts. He got all kinds of fun tricks to show us. So I'm pretty excited. First April stream is soon. That's gonna be rough. But yeah, this is gonna be a great stream. Andy is just so knowledgeable, so he's gonna come on and teach us lots of stuff. But yeah, we're always having lots of fun here. So thank you for all the folks who came out. Got nothing else to say. Let's find someone to raid.
And shout out.
Yeah.
I just want to say shout out to anyone that's in the chat at the moment who helped with this release by making demos and like giving feedback on everything. You're all amazing and we love you. That's it.
Yeah, thank you. Honestly, because we have to look through some of those people's things, and it made us appreciate the release a lot more. So yeah, I second that shout out. But chat, it is that time where we find someone great to raid, and we take you somewhere nice because we want to keep the streaming thing going. Join us Thursday. Be here. We will see you later. Take care. Bye.
Bye.